Hello guys. Today we are going to be discussing how to study like Rory Gilmore. Rory is one of my favorite TV characters in Gilmore Girls. If you haven't watched it, it's literally such a good show. I'm team Jess all the way. But I love her character because she is so good about studying and she's so passionate about it, and I'm terrible at studying. I'm a pre-nursing student, and so if anything about nursing school, like the number one thing is like you need to know how to study and you have to study all the time. And so I thought this term I would kind of apply her studying tips and get better at studying to help out. And honestly, she knows what she's talking about. So I thought I would give you guys a guide to how to study like Rory Gilmore. We're just gonna get into this because this is some good quality information. Right off the bat, the first thing I noticed about Rory is that she always has a book in her hand, and this could be because she's kind of more shy, introverted.
Yeah, the books. Are you seeing the books? Everything you would want to read is right here. Feel it.
There is so many statistics about how much reading does help your brain, so I can see how this would help if you want to get better at studying. It makes us more creative because we imagine scenarios in our head and are able to picture things. Teaches us new words. For me, I noticed it really helped my attention span because being on social media and just constantly getting stimulated through your phone, just looking at pages for 30 minutes, hours on end, really helps you slow down and pay attention for longer. I wish I knew this in high school and stuff because I always thought I didn't like reading until I grabbed a good book. The first book that got me back into reading was It Ends With Us. That just started it for me, and now this year I've read 11 books, but I'm trying to get to 100. I'm gonna give you a haul of some of the books that I'm gonna read. These are just some good ideas of really good books that I've had recommended to me, and then I'm gonna show you guys Rory Gilmore's reading list of good classic books. These are some books I'm trying to read by the end of March, April. So we have Of Mice and Men, it's kind of a shorter book. The Nightingale, Turtles All the Way Down, I've heard this is great, by John Green. Me Before You, I love the movie to this. We have The Kite Runner, Not Without My Daughter. My grandma recommended this to me. She was obsessed with this book. The Course of Love, The Secret History. One of my favorite YouTubers, Ruby Lynn, was reading this, and so I thought I would give it a try. It's very thick though. The Book Thief, my sister's favorite book. We have The Five, I think this is a series. The Great Alone, I just love the title and the cover of this book. All Your Perfects, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've heard this is so good. I saw Haley Pham reading this. And then right now I'm reading Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. I'm trying to read all of her books because I usually like her as an author. I think she's really good. And then I just read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRae. This was a good mythical book. I really like this one.
This is my bus book.
Uh-huh. What's the Faulkner?
My other bus book.
Something really cool about trying to find what Rory Gilmore read was you can just literally just Google it and it will give you her reading list. This list kind of displays all the books that she talked about or was caught reading throughout the show. We have 1984 by George Orwell, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, read that one. The Art of Fiction, The Art of Living. This list has over 400 book titles. You will have 3 years worth of books to read in this list. So I definitely recommend checking it out. There's tons of websites that mention the books that she read, and there's tons of lists. So it's super nice if you want to get into her mindset and read some classic literature. The next tip that Rory Gilmore taught me, the next two kind of go together, is to study constantly and study in different places. So something that I recently tried was kind of studying everywhere I go. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day reviewing something, you'll learn and memorize so much more than just cramming an hour before the test.
Okay, just remember, these are the PSATs, okay? So it's like the baby gap. They don't count as much. You beat me home by 2 minutes, and your nose is already in the books.
I can go from 0 to studying in less than 60 seconds.
Very impressive.
The next thing I loved about Rory's studying is she had no interruptions.
Hey, pay attention. Professor Bell is one of the foremost philosophy professors in the country.
You know, if she was studying and focusing, she didn't let anything distract her, and I think that's with phones and stuff, that's really hard to be able to completely focus. But I feel especially as girls, because usually we're really good at multitasking, or we think we're good at that, and so it can get really hard to just focus on one topic. But if you're able to do that, put away your phone or set a timer, anything to just really focus, even if it's for a few minutes, you'll get a lot more done. Another good tip that Miss Rory taught me is it's okay to have study breaks or to feel burnout.
How are you?
Well, I study, then after a little study break, I study.
Mythology, his effort to bring under one roof the spiritual and intellectual.
There were so many times where she was just like, I need a coffee, I need a snack, and for me, I used to make studying miserable, and that makes you just hate studying, and it should be something that you learn to love, especially if you know for school or whatever you're gonna have to do it for a while. So I made myself a nice setup for studying, allow myself phone breaks in between studying, and gave myself or ate like special nice snacks during my study breaks, and that really helps. The next thing I learned is there are so many different ways to study. For me, I learned that I learn best kind of like a picture. Like that's how my brain works, is I can remember like picture things super easily. Like if you give me a diagram, I will remember that way more than if I read a paragraph about what that diagram says. So that's kind of how I memorize things. I try to look at charts, pictures, diagrams, stuff like that. I feel like once you learn what study method or what you're able to memorize the best, that's how you're going to study the best. Rory used flashcards, notes, she read about things. Just using all those different outlets together will make you know the most. Next, she was always curious, and I feel like for me, this is something that I have to be better about, because normally I only like to learn stuff that's like on the test.
Well, you're in much better shape than you want to think you are. Impossible.
But you're not gonna get smarter that way, you're just gonna get a good grade that way. And so it really helps to be curious about what you're learning and to try to fully understand it for what it is, not just the portion of it. It's gonna be on the test. There's always curveballs in school. You never know what could be on the test, what could be on the homework. It's better to know everything in the full picture, and being curious and like asking questions will help you do that.
I had to finish my paper.
Your brain needs sleep.
It can sleep when I finish my paper.
I hope you guys enjoyed those Rory Gilmore studying tips. She is a baller at studying. I love her, and so I hope these tips help you to be as good as her, because I'm definitely trying. I will always be trying to be as good as Rory Gilmore. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.